Up Talk. Now, another offering from the Stand Up Talk Radio Network.
Late night in Hollywood.
Late night in Hollywood. Late night in Hollywood.
From Los Angeles, California, you're listening to Late Night in Hollywood with Ari Manes and Michael Lenoci.
Are you recording?
Maybe.
All right. Michael Lenoci in the last 10 minutes has said 3 of the most amazing sound bites you will ever hear in your life. And they sum up Michael as a person. So if you're listening out there and you're wondering, hey, who is this guy who keeps saying he's the host and thinks that that's great banter?
He's not the host.
He's not the host.
We should make that clear.
Yeah,
I'm the host.
I'm very aware of this. In the 2 episodes I've listened to, kind of, I got it that Ari's the host and Mike is the, hey, can I be a part of this podcast? But I guess what? You're a much needed energy, and here's why.
He's a good part.
Here are 3 of the things Mike just said. The first one, which I love, I'm gonna save it for the last. All right. Well, the one that I love the most is where he goes, "I could teach you a lot about a lot." Now, upon hearing that the first time, I go, I think Mike is legitimately retarded. But then I go, you know what? That actually makes sense. And that's the brilliance of Mike. Well, brilliance, that's backtrack, Adam.
And sometimes it rubs off on people.
Yeah. And then Mike goes, hey, sometimes you say things. And then he said, oh, shit, what was the last one?
What was
it? Albums were never my goal. And I said, albums were never all 3 of those are great album titles. Michael Lenoci, sometimes you say things. Michael Lenoci, albums were never my goal. And then he comes out with one. How great is that? But it's maybe like 9 minutes of material, and that's why it's great.
And Michael's
It's an EP.
most recent,
It's an EP.
the best one would be, I could teach you a lot about a lot.
Oh, that's so great.
That's going to be
Your face on a shirt, people would buy that just because they feel bad for you. Anyway.
Thanks
What?
for agreeing to record this in your boxers.
Well, I definitely did not because I'm fully clothed right now.
Well,
And,
you're tied up right
you
now.
guys brought-
He's lying. He's tied up.
Whoa,
and
whoa, whoa. What kind of a podcast is this?
You're in boxers tied up.
Is this what you guys, how come you haven't done this with any other guests where you go, hey, Adam's got a sausage in between his butt and he's fucking grinding up on Ari's guitar.
Yeah, I just got that from my birthday present.
This is
For
actually a fun
myself.
game. Let's
Not the
keep doing it.
guitar, the dance from Adam.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice, Mike. Hey. That was
Ding! I wish we were on Around the Horn and I just got a ding.
quick. What's your favorite game show of all time, Mike?
Game show of all time? This is a good question.
I'm going to give you some options.
It's got to be The Price is Right. That's got to be it.
What would be your...
Because every time you miss school.
You would miss school?
you ever stay home and watch The Price is Right?
Yeah, man. But,
That's what I'm saying.
like, as an adult,
Well, I'm saying back in the day, I don't watch it anymore.
you would skip
I would
school
watch it.
to watch The Price is Right?
just to watch
And
The
I
Price is
think
Right.
we found our problem on why Mike's vocabulary consists of 9 words.
How much do you think that guitar was worth?
This one right here?
Yeah.
What brand?
It's Yamaha.
Oh, they're great with the motorcycles.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm thinking this has got to be at least 380.
Pretty close. It was 320. So
What's up?
Price is right, I guess.
The price is
Might have paid
'cause
off.
as long as no one did $1.
Somebody would $1.
Yeah. So then,
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like Mike would $1 every
yeah,
turn.
of course, that you got to be that's the funny guy.
And then you like laugh it off, and Bob would be like, "Mike, you can't keep $1ing everything." And you're like, "Ha." And then he'd say something like, "Ha. Well, sometimes you learn things, Bob." And Bob's like, "What?" And then they're like, "Should we kick this guy off contestants row? He keeps fucking making people
He
uncomfortable."
goes, whoa, I could teach you a lot about a lot.
Mike, what will be your come on down dance? I was thinking about this 2 days ago.
It's all the same.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Your come on down dance has to be specific and unique. And here's the best part about it, because everyone always does the "I'm surprised," and they just jump up and then they run down, and it's usually a large woman from Nebraska, and she just jiggles and bounces as she.
I
runs
would
down.
just to throw everyone off, I would just act really frustrated and annoyed. I gotta walk down there.
See, that's why I asked. That's different.
That's
Or
what
maybe
I
do the
would
Thriller.
What would yours be?
I would do the double dicks.
How do you do that?
You know, where you act like you're basically like shaking like, like 2 dicks, like you're like you know when people jerk off
that
like
would be
getting
hilarious.
like 2 dicks in their face. Because guess what? Because because the cameras are gonna go, is he doing double dick? But like you're not gonna totally, but you're doing it so happy that you just act like you're flailing, but you clearly have your hands in cup shape. And here's
funny.
Here's the thing. They're not going to tell you to go back to your seat. It's always Barbara Harrison, come on down. They don't ever Barbara Harrison, and then they see her do double dick and go, Barbara Harrison, go back to your fucking seat. Like they've never done that. So you're always going to make it down there.
Yeah. That you could get away with
do
a
anything,
lot.
I
Like that's the
suppose.
one time in your life you can kind of really get away with something there.
Oh my God. That's depressing. Where were you raised? Yeah, Price is Right. I watched it hoping I could escape my family and finally be myself.
Man.
Missing school
I'm
Price is
lobbing
Right.
things up for you.
What were you like during snow days, Mike?
Oh, well, that never happened for me because we lived
By the
in
way,
Fort
have you been in it?
Lauderdale.
Oh, what was that word? Is that a place?
Fort Lauderdale.
No snow?
No. We've never had snow. It's South Florida.
Beaches. Babes.
Yeah.
How close
Bang
was
Bros.
Bang Bros? They always
Bros.
film there, don't they?
I think so.
Boy, Mike, what would be your go-to line? I like that no one's interviewed you on the podcast yet, have they?
No, you've really taken over my
Oh, that's
podcast.
nice. I'm genuinely curious.
I feel like I'm just your guest now. What? I don't even feel
Mike-
comfortable right now.
Well, hey, no. What would be your opening line if you ran Bang Bros? And for the listeners who don't know, Bang Bros is a
Adult.
they're a team.
Film
They're a
site.
team on the internet who lures in prospective clients by offering up snacks,
Green snacks.
green snacks, and
Dicks.
dicks. Mike, what would be your line to get in? So let's say you pull up outside of an Orange Julius, right? It's an Orange Julius / Pizza Hut combo, and you see a couple girls, and you go, "Hey, they look like they might want to have some fun." What do you say? You get out of the van, and what do you say?
I'll be the girl.
I'll be the other girl.
Oh my God! You know what's crazy about
Hey,
Orange
girls.
Orange Julius is that hello.
What?
Hey,
Who-
what's
what-
up?
Why? Are you, hey.
Hey.
I just want to.
Oh my God! Who the
You guys
fuck
want to
is-
go
What?
burn the roof of your mouth with some pizza and then cool it off with a smoothie?
No.
Oh my God! What do you mean
No.
pizza smoothie? Is that like a burn my? Why would I want
You
to
ever
burn
take ecstasy?
Yeah.
You want to feel ecstasy again?
What? You mean take it again?
Yeah, it was great.
It was-
Of course.
Do you have it on you? Are you saying you have ecstasy and pizza? Because I'd totally be down for that right
Are you
now.
guys the cops?
Are we the cops?
Are
What the
you the
fuck is
cops?
wrong with you?
No.
You know that pizza smoothie
You should
thing?
totally call Brian and tell him to come over here. This guy's freaking me the fuck out. Pizza smoothie?
Mike, I got to be honest. End scene, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you
Pizza
ladies
smoothie.
want to burn the roof of your mouth by eating a pizza and then cool it down with a smoothie?
I don't even think. Not only would you not get hired to write in a film, you would never get hired to write in a porno.
You wouldn't get hired to write. That's bad porno dialogue, Mike.
Oh, I forgot we were in a porno.
What the
I
fuck?
forgot this.
Bang
I thought the
Bros.
scene was me just walking
You
up
don't
to
know what Bang Bros is, dude?
No, what's Bang Bros?
Were we
You're-
reenacting a scene of what you do when you would skip school and watch The Price is Right? You would-
Yeah. How do we do? You want to do that scene?
what would you?
Oh, Mom. I don't feel good. I think I'm going to stay home.
No, I'm not as into this scene.
Yeah.
I used to miss karate to watch the Power Rangers, but that's basically taking a karate class. Watching
That's
the
a
Power
that's a
Rangers.
great excuse though.
Yeah.
Mike wouldn't fucking bail on The Price is Right and then go to Albertsons and guess the price of tuna.
Everyone knows it's $6.49 for the 6-pack. $7.49 actually.
Well played.
And
You know, I worked at a grocery store
really?
in high school. If you guys want to get to know me,
You had a grocery store in your
What
high
did
school?
you do at the grocery store?
I started out being a bagger. I bagged groceries. Paper or plastic.
And
People
then-
will go, oh, Jesus. I'm like, hey, man, it's just a fucking bag to put your toaster biscuits in. It's not the end of the world. I didn't ask if you want me to shave your kid or bathe your fucking dog.
You know what's bullshit is that the supermarkets in West Hollywood don't give bags anymore.
They're
You have to
charging
bring
for
your own
bags.
bag.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I literally just thought we were in a scary movie and we were.
They're charging you
actors.
for bags. Here's what people also don't get about the grocery store. They let people like Mike work there.
Yeah, I mean, I never worked there, but I applied for a Publix one time and I didn't get the job.
Yeah. You know, there's
Oh.
drama though at the grocery store like any other job. Like you wouldn't think. Like there was a girl who I fooled around with. She ran the deli. right? She worked at Albertsons,
Nice.
at the deli, and we fooled around. And then guess what? It got weird the next day. And I asked her for on my break. I was like, "Can I get some of that little potato salad she used to hook me up with?" And she's like, "I don't think that's a good idea." Isn't that crazy? Drama at the fucking deli. I couldn't get potato salad.
What drama went down? What happened?
She was a little bit older. I think she was like 22 and I was 17. And I was like, I'm 17 and I don't know what I'm doing. And so you can't expect me to like know what the protocol is for this. And I think she was like, "Oh, you're just not fucking fool around and not call me and then expect potato salad." She didn't say it like that.
You hurt a 22-year-old girl. That's pretty
guess.
badass.
No, I didn't hurt her.
Well,
I think I just
She was a little hurt, it sounds like.
she assumed that I was more grown up than I was at that
Yeah.
age. I mean, it's,
You know what?
Michael's-
You know what's happening? I'm just faded, man.
I was just going to say, Michael's just up in the sky right now.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, if
I
you
haven't
were,
been up in the sky in
Mike,
a long time.
what do you think is more possible to happen sooner? Flying cars or Care Bears flying cars made of clouds?
Well, that's you can't just answer this question.
Neither.
You gotta. Okay, first of all, it depends what you're doing. Like most likely, the Care Bears is gonna come first right now.
So what you're saying,
but tomorrow morning, the other one, just cars, will be first.
So what you're saying right now, that you in your heart believe that cartoons will exist, who not only exist, but then they'll drive, and if that's not enough,
Have
they'll
they
drive
ever-
clouds with wheels,
Yeah,
and that's going to happen before car. You know, there's already a flying car that exists.
Well, so what?
There's
Yeah.
several prototypes.
So what?
Yeah.
I
I just saw one of them. It blew my mind, actually.
You saw it in the sky?
No, that would be great.
You saw it on the ground
I saw it in a magazine,
in a magazine. Oh, okay.
and it looked like a like it should, like it had wings, and but it looked dope. It looked futuristic, and I gotta be honest, it gave me a little bit of like.
Did the wings
Like I had to
pop
catch
out?
my breath because I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like it just made it real. It didn't seem real until I saw like an actual.
That's when you know you've made it. When you have a flying car.
I think so. It also seems like a terrible idea, doesn't it?
I mean, if I owned
No.
a baseball team, I
No, it
think
seems
that
like a
would be
great
pretty
idea.
Yeah. Can you
I
imagine?
want it.
Cool.
What about that whole teleportation thing that some guy in San Francisco got going?
No, he didn't do that.
That's
That's not real.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, you're making that up right now.
I think Adam came in here and just took charge. We didn't do our normal intro.
That's
We're
so
not in our
funny,
boxers.
man.
We're not in our
That is
boxers.
so funny though. For like, it makes
Adam
you look
just
cool.
took a leadership role and just
It's so funny because maybe that's gonna be the thing.
Maybe
We'll just
that's-
have people
Is
come
that my
on. and
podcast experience shining through right now?
yeah.
Oh, you're a
yeah,
seasoned podcast.
That's what
guy.
happened. This is our fifth
Hey, man.
podcast, and
Yeah.
Adam just came in here and he
And
goes,
just
"I get
monkey
80,000 downloads episode.
Yeah, but I didn't. I
We're
mean,
starting it."
I also
He
I just
just
felt like
abused
it
us.
was. I wanted to start without.
Yeah.
You don't want to sit back and wait
No.
for it to happen.
Yeah, no,
But
you're
now I
right.
do. But now I do.
No, you're
Good
right.
roll.
But you guys should. If you guys want to be in your underwear, guess what? I'm on board for that. I'm just telling you that I'm not going to join you.
Well, that's the whole purpose. Is it would be we won't connect that.
We did, but we can do other
Yeah.
stuff together.
Like eat cucumber salad.
Sure, everybody can jump in on this.
Well, I liked what we already did. We should just keep everything, even the lull.
Me too. I think it was great.
I think it's just gonna be different.
It's raw,
The fact that
untapped.
there was some funny shit that we said,
Now why? Now
and then
why?
I was out of it for a second. But now that I'm talking, I can be more
Totally.
focused.
So what am I? What are we doing here? I'm curious why you guys wanted me to be on.
We're not going to talk about your career as much. We're going
It
to talk
doesn't
about
matter.
your
Yeah, that's
podcast.
fine. Yeah.
We want to know like how can we improve? Maybe you can give us some pointers.
Well, I think it's like anything. I think you guys are. You said 5 episodes in,
Yeah.
and I mean we've been doing it for maybe almost 2 years, but only maybe like 80 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you weren't every week. You weren't consistent.
we were for a while, and then like there was a time when like we were both gone for maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then when the one network shut down, we had like a month break.
Yeah.
I think it's like anything where it's like doing stand up. It's going to take a little bit to find your voice. I mean, I look back at some of our old episodes, and it's just not as tight. Like we have gotten to a really great point of like I didn't even want to do a podcast when they were really starting to happen a lot. I was just like, I almost like wanted to rebel against. I was like, oh, everyone's gonna have one. And it made me not want to do one. But I think that was because I was thinking about doing it by myself. And then when Brad asked me, I was like, oh, yeah, actually doing it with somebody seems like it would be a lot of fun. and I know him well enough to like have some banter, and the give and take was always good from the get go. But like now,
You've honed it.
we've just gotten strong. And when we have somebody on that we've both, a lot of people we have on, like I know Harlan really well, Harlan Williams. Brad knows him just from seeing him at clubs.
Yeah.
But like we, and obviously Harlan's just great at like, gelling in a new situation. But like we do well about having a map of like questions that we both have, and then we just kind of like both can take over and steer when needed. It's not like because I know him better, I'm gonna, but that just came from doing it a bunch.
Did you find when you took that month off and those 3 weeks off, did that hurt your podcast, or did it just pick right back up as far as your listeners?
Pick right back up. I mean, we didn't get any better in that time because we weren't doing it.
Right.
Every week we just figured something else out, and we would come up with bits for shows and try to get consistent things going to get people to like. That people started tweeting and being like, "Oh, that was really cool when you did that. Are you gonna do that thing again next week where you do the?" Well, it's fun being. Getting like, and also seeing the skill translate. Like I just did morning radio at these shows in San Diego I was doing, and there's 4 people in there, and just from like doing it's another skill that you just don't.
Yeah.
Even from my Ferguson thing, man, like that for sure. Doing the podcast helped out enormously. Like you do those like Kevin Nealon shows, or there's other shows we've done that where people have where it's like an interview thing, but like having the just consistent like. This type of discussion about comedy, or where it's like on ours we get somewhat autobiographical with people, but we keep it really light, and there's a lot of tangents, and it's a lot of riffing, and we allow for that a lot. So I think it's very conducive to help you with like a late night thing. But with the morning radio was really helpful because, and I'm assuming that it's a lot of the podcast skills that you get contribute to that, because I felt really comfortable with like being like controlling the conversation, but then also sitting back and letting them, join in, and then I would, add in on what they were saying or whatever.
Right.
But just being, so this is a very worthwhile skill that you guys are starting to add to your
Every time you're on
repertoire.
the road, you do the radio, right? So yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
and that's
this is just another thing to get comfortable in.
And that's a skill that is, I mean, shit, man. It's like. And
you want to be funny on those.
Yeah,
right?
and I mean, I remember the first few times I did it, I was like, I never wanted to do bits, but then a few times I did because I was like not comfortable. I just didn't. It was a new thing and not comfortable enough to try to. I was like, what am I supposed? Like, how edgy can I be? Like, what? Like, or do I need to do bits to help promote the show? But then, like, because sometimes I do it without, and I didn't feel like it was very funny because the guy was kind of not trying to riff. He was just trying to set me up for bits, but because I wasn't, I was just then. Coming up with other stuff that wasn't always hitting, and so now sometimes I'll have like a rough idea of maybe like things that I could like bring up that aren't bits, but just like talking points, and then just like anything, and just.
Have you ever taken something from the podcast that you got and then brought it on stage?
Oh yeah. Oh,
That's
it's
cool.
great for that. Oh, Brad and I think unknowingly will come in with some, because we'll do episodes that are just him and I sometimes, and I know we both come in with bits, and we'll we talk about what's been going on, like weekend or whatever, or something always something that goes down the road that one of us would want to talk about, that like on any road trip when you come back, man, this one heckler one night, or like Brad had a woman stand up and say she was fucking a dwarf was on her bucket list, and that's why she came to the show. So that's a story he'd tell any of his comic buddies. Yeah, that's a story he'd tell any of his buddies. But it's perfect for the podcast to bring it up, because then I come in and he was like, at the beginning, he'd tell me about it like before the podcast, and now we're like, "Hey, save it." He started telling me. I goes, so he tells me live for the first time. So then we just end up riffing on it, and then I'll tell him about something that happened, or something that happened in L.A. that like I'm thinking about as maybe a bit. I'll tell him, and just like we do with each other sometimes, where hey, what do you think of this or whatever? He'll riff with it on me and add to it and whatever, and we'll go back and forth, but organically, so it seems like this is a part of our show, not like, hey. Tell me about this. Yeah. And it's been really helpful. And then we'll even do that with guests on sometimes. I mean, I brought up something with Harlan that some bit I was thinking about, and he ended up riffing on it with me, and at least making me opening up other questions to the bit to me. I was just like, oh shit, like he'd ask, like, 'cause we were all like, talking about it like objectively, and he was like, yeah, what about this with it was about the woman who pushed her husband off the cliff. Let me request a sound effect. All right, the George Jetson just left for work, but he's late, and he's going to Elroy's spaceball game, and he's in a lot of traffic. So I want to hear George is upset, and then he gets into his Jetson car and flies through space, but then he gets pulled over. Go.
God damn it! There's traffic. My tongue fucked up there. Hold on.
Yeah. There it is.
That's like a
That was
good
good,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to do the.
This is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Woo, 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 woo. Woo, woo, woo. Pull over. Okay.
How come George Jetson just turned into a 9-year-old Amish girl?
Because he's nervous.
Because he's nervous. Doesn't even skip a beat. Okay. I'll play the cop. Ready?
Oh, you're going to be the
I'll
cop?
Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Do you know how fast you were going back there?
You know, so
License and registration, please.
yes. Here you go. License, registration, and proof of insurance.
Thank you. How'd you know I wanted to see that?
Because usually that's what they ask for.
I'll ask the questions around here.
You're right.
You don't mind if I eat my cucumbers in front of you, do you?
My favorite.
What the fuck does that mean? What is wrong with you? Are you high, George?
Stay in the scene. I'm the acting coach.
Let me ask you something, Jetson.
Sorry.
And you answer me. You look at me when you answer me.
My wife.
What about your wife?
I caught her with another alien.
You're an alien? I thought you were a Jetson.
Aren't they aliens, though?
No.
Aren't who aliens? What kind
They
of
live-
drugs you on, George? Are you talking to me or somebody else? Mike's like, so if you want to sound like Big Bird, you go, I'm Big Bird.
I think the next class you should take is a voiceover class. Skip the acting classes. How'd your set go tonight? How many people were in the audience?
15.
No.
I don't know.
11?
11. What time was you got on? Like 1? 12:30?
12:40?
12:40, 11 people in the audience. What would you do differently in an 11-person audience than you do when it's a sold out OR?
Great question. I'll tell you what I did tonight. I did the Laugh Factory first for maybe 15 people. Then I did USC for maybe 300 kids. And my energy between in the store for 11. And I try to not.
Good spots.
I try to.
Yeah, what time was the Laugh Factory at when there was 15 people?
8:30.
Damn.
I try to not alter my energy too much from like less people to more people, and still try to be consistent with that, because I did that for a little stretch where I would, I mean, obviously late night at 12:40, you can't walk in there with the same amount of enthusiasm as you would for like 300 college kids, because
Right.
That's not the energy isn't at that level. It's you just, you do, there's something about feeling out, the room or whatever, I feel like, and getting a sense of like where people are at. If those 11 people at the store were rowdy and I was listening, they were laughing really hard beforehand, and they were like, which happens sometimes, then I might I could match that. But they were, it was just kind of like, we're sitting here, man, we're very attentive and we're laughing, but like, I sit on the stool a lot late night, which I really like, because I don't do that elsewhere, and I really wish I did, because it really like grounds me, and I'll end up saying bits even more conversational than I already feel like they are, because I just feel very comfortable sitting down. But you still can sit on that stool and have energy and not have it just bring you down.
You have to share some stuff about yourself. People want to know you. I got a couple texts.
Are you pointing at me?
Yeah.
Me? People want to know me?
Well, let's interview him. We got to interview you for a little bit. Where were you last night?
Yeah, all right. Where were you last night?
What day is today? Tuesday? Monday? Okay, Monday. I feel like there's, okay, well, I'll just say it.
Why
Monday.
you way too long for a simple question? So that
Monday,
sounds the
I
first sign of a killer.
I signed up at the
Wow.
comedy store. Then I went to Meltdown,
Uh-huh.
and I got 21st on the list, so I waited through 20 comedians.
You watched 20 sets?
I
All of their
watched
sets?
20 sets.
Wow.
I wasn't attentive the whole time. I was on my phone a lot.
Oh,
Then I went up 21st, and I bombed.
How supportive is the open mic scene right now?
It depends on the open mic, I think, and what time. When you go up 21st, it's not supportive.
When you go first, but
like
I mean, but on a whole though. But I mean,
still-
wait, so when you go up 21st, are all the people that went before you gone? Because
No, but yeah, but there's also
It
there could
depends
be
on
like
like. So
5
this
good
was
people.
this was the Meltdown mic, which is my favorite mic in the entire city. Very supportive.
people that aren't just comics there to watch it.
That too.
Because I think that's got to be a reason you like a mic,
Yeah,
right?
that's
'Cause
definitely.
what percentage of the open mics you do are just comics?
Right, exactly. Those
What-
ones
what
aren't as good.
percentage?
Oh, 90% of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's nice to have people that aren't, because then
Yeah.
more often than not, if it's you and 30 comics, I mean, the store sometimes a lot of the comics hang around, but people
Yeah.
are like, hey, I'm going up and then I'm going to another one, so
Right.
I'm not going to be there when you get up.
Exactly.
And there's no like loyalty for that. You can't hate
Yeah.
anybody. They just got to go.
Right. They were
They gotta
trying to
work.
get in more time, and you get it because I do it. We all do
But
it.
I'm sure then that's how you start forming some friendships when some people go, hey, I'm going to hang around and watch my buddy go up. I'm 8th, but he's 28th. I'm gonna
Definitely.
stay and watch
Or
him.
what mic you going next? I'll go with you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
you I think everyone does. There's always like hops and groups of 3s and 2s. Just if you can find someone that matches your same schedule, and you guys are hitting like the same frequent.
Yeah, that's cool, Mike.
Once.
But all right, so when you so if there's a mic, that's good, Mike. There should be a drinking game at home. Hey, listeners, if Mike can get through 2 minutes of talking straight without flubbing a word, drink 7.
Yeah, that's
Oh man, big fan of what's happening to my left.
oh.
All right, so how's bombing at an open mic?
What's way better than bombing at a show? When you bomb at a mic, 'cause I bomb mics a fair
Yeah,
amount.
that's
Good.
Well, you definitely get
Yeah.
way more comfortable bombing at an open mic before a
Right.
show. That's
That's
for
what I'm
sure.
saying. So
why
I don't
don't
care.
you think that would? Well, obviously, if you're doing a lot of mics, if you like would bomb at the Laugh Factory tomorrow, that's not a really comfortable environment. So you'd be more aware of bombing. But even
Right.
though,
So when I bombed going up 21st, I was like, well, that sucked, and then that was basically it, over it.
and what do you do when you bomb? Do you go that sucked and you just try to forget about it, or do you sit down and go, all right, why did I fucking bomb? Or why do I think why do I think I bombed?
It depends. If I can make excuses. They were on their cell phones, so they weren't even watching.
Sure.
So I do little things
Sure.
like that, which
All
I
and
don't know.
all could be like honest, viable factors, but I think you can't control when your point of view is going to hit, or when you feel like you're locking in on why you're talking about who you are on stage, But I think you can control habits and making excuses, or like, oh, I didn't have time to prepare for that set, or like we've all done it, and I mean, I know I'm still aware of. If I didn't go up having a map. I now try to be very cognizant of having a map of going up with a.
When you do your sets, you have a set list in your head.
I
Like
try
a
to have it
outline,
in
a
chunks,
set
yeah.
outline?
But I haven't a lot too. But then those times I do, I don't feel as, because I would like to feel very whatever, going
In
off the crowd a
control.
little bit. But
Yeah.
then I was like, well, have a map and still have that fun up top or wherever else, but at least know where.
Yeah.
Also, because it made me stay a lot more on track, and my timing was quicker, my pace was better. But anytime, and Kirk Fox told me this because he always has that. He's like, I always go with a map and have myself in chunks. But he was like, because he noticed me at one point kind of being like, he's like, anytime a comic's like, what else? What are we talking about? What do you guys want? Or what else is there to talk about? He's like, Kirk's like, dude, you're up there. They're following you. You're supposed to take them on a ride. They came to listen to you talk. What do you mean you don't know what you're up there doing? And that just really resonated with me as far as not having a plan and seeming like you're not in control. And now when I see people do it, it makes me it's unappealing.
It's
But also it's also interesting though to watch sometimes, somebody figure out where they're going next. But if given the alternative, I would like to see somebody. I'm not saying the pauses, even tonight at this USC show, I did I'd say the first 8 minutes went really great, and then I kind of just stopped, and I was like, what I want to do next, I don't want to do that I had in my head, because I had some new shit in between a couple things, and I had skipped right to the new shit and didn't have what I wanted to do.
You did a crowd of 300 people tonight, and you did new shit?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's
All the
cool.
time.
See, I would expect the new shit to come out, the 11, 15 people. More so.
I did way more new shit there.
Yeah.
I do new shit at all these headline weekends. I mean, at least a couple. Not only is it like not because I look forward to that, more tags or add stuff to certain bits or but if I have a couple new things, that's like that's an uncertain part of the show that I'm like I get amped up for, because then it's like shit, this could not go well at all.
But you're confident enough in your other material to where you're like, okay, if this joke doesn't hit, then I know I can get him back with this joke.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I'm gonna, yeah. I mean, but that's just from I feel like I have at least right now a good amount of material that I feel very confident in.
Right.
But the transition, I feel like from headline to starting to headline has been like figuring out the pace of like just going, oh yeah, I've got enough material to do it is one thing, but like rearranging chunks of like how you want to start, like having a beginning, middle, and end, and stuff that's longer stories and that not doing up top, and how to open to really give them a sense of who you are without going into something that's maybe just an opinion about something, but something more personal. And then I was finding that there were some things that I would open with that would get laughs, and sometimes more than others, but consistently kind of split the crowd a little bit. And so I was like, all right, well then maybe don't do that right off the top, so you can kind of get them all on your side.
What kind of crowd would be like your worst crowd? Like the crowd that I'm most scared to perform in front of, old people.
Yeah. I've done a couple older corporate parties that are like holiday parties for older people, and they were actually awesome. But then I did an old one for one in the afternoon, which was a fundraiser. And that was awful because it wasn't a holiday party and they weren't drinking. Some were drinking, but it was like, I think because it was for the kids, they had that in the back of their minds, and they were just awful and sticking the muds. And I ended up just doing a lot of crowd work.
A lot of people who listen to our podcast is other comedians, newer comedians. So I have another comedy nerd question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I run standuptalk.com, the online magazine.
Yeah. And
I had met you a couple times, but I don't know you very well.
Mm-hmm.
I would have wanted to interview or do press, but I wasn't even comfortable enough to ask you because I thought you were like too big on the scene.
Oh, really?
For me to ask you. And then you actually approached Stand Up Talk on Twitter, and you know, had like a more aggressive approach. So have you always had that kind of like business mindset towards?
I don't think always, but I think it was I picked it up after from acting school. That there was no. They didn't have any, like, there's no real business sense they didn't teach you. Our last year, or last day before we graduated, they had some people come in and talk to you about, like, hey, get involved. You got to work at a casting office, and you got to do this. You got to.
Is that USC?
Yeah. You got to, like, get some other stuff going. You got to work. You got to really put yourself out there, work at a place, internship there, whatever. And this is all, like, on the day before we graduate. We're like, oh, fuck. All right. We don't just. Fuck, I could just walk into a casting office with a, I was in, a play called Vinegar Tom. Can I be on CSI? And they, so the business sense became pretty apparent pretty quick as far as like, but that just, again, comes from like, I got a job at this casting office, and then I would, see all these auditions, and really start to get a sense of like the way that casting directors and the actors like interacted, and the other actors there, and talking to other people that worked in the office with me about certain things, and just gaining, perspectives from people in the business, and starting to see how people interacted, and then also just going off your own, like, oh, I'm gonna always just try to be, nice and cooperative and not start shit, like, and just soak in as much as possible without being like walked on, but like. There was a casting one of the casting directors that worked there would like really. She was bossy and kind of a. Can you say
anything?
Cunt on here?
Oh, that's the one thing.
Okay, so she was not being a cunt.
She's a bitch.
She was a very mean person.
She was a mean person.
She was a very mean person.
Was she very successful?
She was pretty successful.
Sucks.
But I would like not pick your battles too type of thing, so you're taking it and you go, oh well, this isn't like I can see what is trying to be relayed, but obviously I don't agree with the way that it's being relayed, but do you step up and make
gotta learn from that?
Yeah, like I tried to after I graduated get a couple buddies to organize like sketch groups because I wanted to like make videos and do right after YouTube had really kind of hit, and I was like, I want to start putting stuff up, and because that was even a big deal in itself, because I was like really cautious of like putting something out there like that, like
Right.
and being having people judge it, like friends of yours back home, because Facebook had just kind of taken off, so and YouTube, so now you're like, oh, and you're seeing all the like the ways people can just respond to something, positively or negatively, and it's a little terrifying because you're like, I don't want to fucking do, but I'm like, oh, I just got to start doing it. And I couldn't find people that wanted to consistently make shit with me. And so then I was just like, all right, fuck it. I'll just do my own shit and hopefully bring people in. And then, so I think that's that type of mentality, being proactive, right? I felt like even more of a need to do it because even though I only, it's not like I reached out to every person I knew, but like the community I did from some improv classes and my job at Universal Studios, the people that I thought would be cool to do with were just not, didn't want to make time. So it was
They
like,
weren't
all right.
as much of go-getters.
Yeah.
They were lazy.
And so then I was like, well, shit, I'm just going to, I don't know. But, so yeah. And then also I really like your site, and I liked, and once you started, I just, the cool articles and I wanted to be a part of it.
Guys, just a heads up, listeners. It was all an act. Today was all an act. It was a fun game we've been playing, and we're back to normal. Where this is the real me. It was fun, and next week I'm gonna do something different. But
Mike,
that was
how's your scooter? I think I saw you driving by the other day.
Whoa! We can't talk about that.
Yeah, Mike drives a scooter.
No, we can't talk about that. If my parents listen to this, they don't
Your
know.
parents listen to this and they don't know you drive
What
a
if
scooter?
they do? They don't know I have one. I'm not gonna put
This
my
is
mom and
this
dad.
is where it's coming out on. Yeah.
Why are you hiding who you are?
Yeah.
They would be worried that I'm gonna die on it, so they
That's
can't
a conversation needs to have where you let them
Yeah,
know. that
you
you
should
guys-
be honest.
Why
Yeah.
even worry then?
Michael, what if you do die on it and you
Then-
never told
then
them?
It's
and they
just as bad
find
as if
out?
they knew I had it. Trust me, you're
What if
dead.
they feel bad and buy you a car?
I can't do that, man.
Why?
They can't buy me a car.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I know that.
Do
They-
you? Because they
parents
don't
don't-
know that you're riding a scooter.
Yeah.
So how do you know that they don't have cash stowed away, that they're just
Yeah,
swimming like fucking Scrooge McDuck?
That's a good point. Parents don't like to keep their kids exactly in on the financial situation
Listen,
all the time.
I'll get it.
They don't want you to kill them.
I
for the
have
money.
this to save money to where I can get a car.
But how is it?
Oh, it's great. I love it.
You're
It's
gonna-
fun.
So when you get your car, you're gonna sell it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna keep it.
No, it's I
Mike
needed to get
rides
by.
a Vespa type scooter that looks
It's
like
a Piaggio.
Wow. Oh,
Piaggio
Wow.
Typhoon, and I get
How many
everywhere in
times
LA in 10 minutes.
Mike, how many times this week have you uttered the sentence? It's a Piaggio.
That was the first time, but I felt good about it.
It sounded good.
I feel like I should.
It
be
made me.
brought up on
It
stage
made it look
with-
so much cooler.
He
'cause
drives
everyone-
a
Mike, can I tell you
Piaggio.
what
I
happened
should
when
be
you-
the commercial guy for it.
Can I tell you what happened when I heard that? I heard your parents smiling. If you call Mr. and Mrs. Lenoci and go, guys, my car got totaled. Michael,
Well,
what
they know
happened?
that.
What happened? You go, it's okay. I replaced it. With what? It's a Piaggio. Guess what? Christmas hymns start playing in the background.
They're gonna defend you too. Someone's like, "Oh, I heard your son's driving around a scooter." No,
No, it's a Piaggio. There you go.
No.
Well played, Ari.
Like every time I pull up with my Piaggio at like a restaurant, I valet it.
Well, that's a waste of fucking money.
it's a valet. Like,
no,
'cause
you
of the-
don't.
It makes you
yeah.
feel
You're
good.
joking.
No, because they're like Piaggio, and
Oh.
then like a French guy has
Okay,
to
good.
do it.
Okay, good. You are joking.
And so then you also want to walk out and have the guy go, sir, excuse me, are you driving the Piaggio? And you go, that would be me, sir.
And then I put a cigar out.
It's
Or
not,
if a
it's not
girl's-
even lit though, is it?
No.
If a girl asks you, "What do you drive?" you just say Piaggio. You don't say it's not a car.
No,
Not a
I
car.
do the scooter thing because I'm always like, "You want to ride my scooter?" And when she says yes, it's kind of like yes to two.
Have you given women rides?
No, I won't do that.
He's not confident enough yet.
On which
in his
scooter, though?
riding
Because
ability.
his name's Scooter.
Holy
So when I'm
shit.
like, "Hey, you want to ride Scooter?"
And the award, the creepiest thing said on a podcast in the last 10 minutes goes to Michael Lenoci. Do you remember that show Real Sex on HBO?
It's still there, man.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, do you remember it?
Yeah.
I remember the one where they have sex underwater. Used to whack out for that one.
Jesus Christ.
Jerk it.
Are you no, I know what you meant, but I just said Jesus Christ, not like what did you mean? But
He
Jesus
doesn't even
Christ.
believe in Jesus.
You would masturbate to people fucking underwater?
I was like 12 years old. I would
talking-
masturbate.
Yo, but your
I masturbate
mentality's
just
not-
to the
we
title
talking-
real sex.
Are we talking about The Little Mermaid?
Yo,
No, I never masturbated to that.
Have you ever
yeah.
had sex underwater?
Yes, jacuzzi.
Well, yeah,
sex.
but that's
Oh,
that's-
completely underwater.
Yeah.
No.
what's the creepiest, weirdest thing you've ever done?
The creepiest, weirdest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, be honest.
I think I told you this once. I don't know if this is the creepiest, but I think this was like the ultimate low point and most pathetic thing I've ever done. Is I was dating a girl. We were in love. She broke my heart, and I told her I had cancer, so that she would take me back.
You did say this story,
Holy
didn't you?
shit.
Did you talk about this on the first episode?
I don't remember.
Did she take you back?
No.
Whoa. Whoa. Wait a minute. What kind of cancer did you tell her?
I just told her I had cancer. I didn't even specify. I didn't specify.
fucked
How
up,
did you
man.
deliver it though?
Via text message.
Well, yeah, there's not a. I mean, you got to do it in the voice. She's got to hear.
Do the voice if you could do it all over again.
Listen, I'm not asking you to take me back, but
All right, what's going on?
found out I had cancer and I'm a pretty low place in my life.
What? Wait, the
Yeah.
cancer's at a pretty low place, or you're in a low place? I
I'm
broke
in
out for a minute.
I'm in a low place.
You're at a low place.
Yeah.
Wait, but so you have cancer?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is it bad?
I don't know. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow to get it looked at and getting it examined.
And
but
then what'll
it's
he
not
do?
good.
So like,
It's definitely
okay,
not
so
good.
like, but why would I want to get back together with you if you have cancer?
I guess you don't. I just thought
Like, I
you
don't
should
find
know.
that attractive. Like, it's not like I don't go on dating sites and say, hey, who's 5'2", brown eyes,
I guess-
dying of a very fatal disease?
I guess I just thought
low
I didn't.
white blood
I
cell
needed someone
count.
at this. I needed someone right now. Just
No, I
it's hard
get
to go
that.
through by
It's-
myself. And my parents live Southern California, and we just came to college together. And then you just broke up with me.
No,
So
I know it happened. Do you want to go in the jacuzzi?
yes, will you wear that red bikini?
I'm already wearing it. This
Adam.
summer, what happens when Ari Manis watches people fuck underwater?
That was good, dude.
It's been fun, guys. I feel like we got some stuff out of this. You
Yeah,
probably,
I mean,
probably chop it down a
They'll
little
chop
bit.
it down to like 45.
Really? But I feel like there's been
Or
a
do you
lot.
think less than that?
No,
We'll see.
no. I think there's been a lot. Well, it depends how many.
No,
I
I'm
feel like
talking about how
there's
many dead tap
There's about
points.
20 good minutes of us riffing up top. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like the improv game was great.
We did a couple of them.
A couple of them were great.
Yeah.
That's definitely something new you haven't had on the podcast
Yeah.
yet.
No, it isn't.
I feel like I answered some
Real
I gave some
questions.
thorough answers. It just depends how
Yeah.
much of that you wanted, but that's on you. It's hey, is this episode going to be, getting to some insights from?
It's gonna
from
be
a
a
comic,
mixture.
or is it going to be? Or is it going to
Yeah.
be less of
I
that?
can't. Do I have to pick one or the other? I don't have
It's
to,
fun
right?
being
No, you do
silly.
whatever you want. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the benefit. You can you get to decide. You can go, hey, special episode. This one's a little bit longer, or you can go, hey, we're just gonna
We booked
we're
this
just gonna
guy
use
for
the
2.
sound bites of Mike, which you could do that, but I wouldn't do that. 'Cause now
Is this
No,
part
we
going to be?
can't have
Is
that.
this part going to be in the podcast?
Mikey
too?
sound bites. That's
Don't
your new
question
nickname.
this.
Is this in the
Yeah.
podcast too?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Wow.
for sure. Because this is
What
like
if like all
this is
of
the
us
raw
go
shit that people
sleep?
want to listen to the podcast for.
You're right, man. You've taught us a lot tonight.
I
But
think.
I take out the dead air in the moments where we didn't have direction. Because
Of course.
quite honestly, the times I've listened to you guys and you do the same thing I was talking about with going up on stage with having like a map. Like,
Yeah.
you trust the person more, and you you want to feel like when you're watching somebody, they're in control because you're like, oh, that like because they are like Kirk Fox says, taking you on a little bit of a ride.
So you want to plug anything? You got
Yeah.
your own podcast?
Yeah, I got my own podcast. It's called About Last Night. It's on iTunes and Stitcher, but you can also just stream it off the site, aboutlastnightpodcast.com. I'm on Twitter at Adam Ray Comedy. All my videos and tour dates are on adamraytv.com, and basically headlining places through Thanksgiving. So
Adam
So-
Ray just had a movie come out. What was that? 3-4 months ago?
The Heat, yeah.
Yeah,
The DVD
nice.
comes out October 15th.
There you go.
I'm on the DVD commentary and the bloopers and all that shit. And
That's cool. That's gonna be really cool, huh?
it was cool, yeah.
Well, I'm saying like he hasn't seen it yet. That's gonna be really cool to see. Huh?
Oh, I'm not gonna watch it again, but
But I'm saying,
But it's cool that the movie's going to come out, and I think DVDs always end up helping it out more. Like,
Of your fans that come out to see you,
yeah,
what are the most from? The movie or your podcast
A little
or
bit of mix of both.
your stand-up? Yeah.
a mix of both. Yeah, I've had
Yeah.
people. I'm not at the level to where I'm feeling it on my own.
Right.
But like I was in Cincinnati, this club called Go Bananas, and almost all the shows were sold out. And one night there was, I'd say, maybe like 30, 40 out of the 220 people that seen the movie, and then maybe 10 people that came up and mentioned the podcast. I don't know if more came from that, but that actively were like, oh yeah, and then some that were like, there was another club we were going to go to that was close by. We looked up who was in town, and we looked at your clip and their clip, and we liked your clip better. Or some kids are just like, I watch all the Laugh Factory stuff, so that's it's a mix of everything, which is why it's kind of nice to get having your feet dipped in all those and having those like, this is good. You guys are starting this now because then let's say 5-6 years you're still doing it. You've got better stand up. Who knows what opportunities are coming your way, and this is now a thing
10,
to help.
15 years, you don't even know.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Adam.
Guys, it was great.
Great moment.
I enjoyed
right there.
myself.
Just
It was
right
late.
now, this moment.
This was really. I think this might be the ultimate late night. Right? Isn't that the name of the show?
yeah,
Late
late
night
night.
What
Hollywood.
podcast has gone from 2 to 3 a.m.?
It's a good. You like the podcast, right?
I had fun.
So you like the podcast?
Yeah.
Say it.
Okay, now I'm feeling. You try to coerce me into
Say
taking
it
my
right
pants
now.
off
Say
8
it right
minutes into
now.
being here.
Just say it.
Say it right
so
now.
so previously,
He's trying to get a bunch of sound bites.
so
Maybe.
the only notes for us are just like get more organized. But you like the podcast. You're a fan of it. You'll as a matter of fact, you'll probably go on Facebook and like the page.
I like the podcast.
You're gonna recommend it
You'll probably like
to
the
your
page.
famous friends. You're gonna say you
man.
should do it. It's
You'll
great.
probably
man.
plug us in your podcast. You'll
I
probably
think I need to listen to a few more
Adam, this is a great
episodes and
one."
hear the improvement.
You're gonna tell your
Cool.
mom to listen to this.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Michael's mom to listen to it.
Well,
I'm
that's
also gonna tell Michael's
shoot, we
mom
forgot about
about
the
his
scooter.
fucking
No, we can't do that.
pistachio.
Yeah, we can't tell. We can't tell.
I'm
Your
email
Pagazio?
links to your mom.
You
Yeah.
for sure got to include that part.
Yeah.
We cannot. She can't know.
It's
You could leave it, but I mean, I don't think they listen to this.
they don't.
But
You
that's
think they
how
want to
you-
listen to me? They
But Mike,
have me.
This is the type of stuff that helps grow your viewership, like stuff like that. Like you saying, "I don't want to do it," and then you do it, and then the next episode you talk about doing it. You talk about the backlash. You talk
Yeah.
about your mom calling you. You play a voicemail of her.
Hi, Michael. No, well, she's.
What
she's
the fuck? Mickey Mouse is your mom?
I don't know why I went with that choice.
But you hear what I'm saying? Like you're
Michael.
saying no.
Yeah.
Hello, Michael.
So
It's my
so guys, tune in next
Yeah.
week
See, look at
to
you. I just
find
gave you a
out
fucking teaser for your
to
podcast.
find out what Michael's parents thought about his
Yeah.
little scooter purchase. Driving around
Gotta do
Hollywood
it,
on a
Mike.
death trap. Let's see what Michael's parents have to say about that next.
Now
This is
people
bad
listen-
timing.
No, now people listening go, see, this is great. You rejecting this is great. And this is where you guys develop your fucking rapport as host
It's
and
so
host.
awesome just because Michael wouldn't even know how to edit that out.
I don't even know how to. I don't know what editing
It's
is.
in.
See, that's great, man. The roles are being defined in front of us right now. And
Dun
this is
dun 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 dun.
great. Jesus Christ. The theme song from fucking Schindler's List just came out of your mouth.
Guys, if if you like the podcast, poke
This
me
was
and Michael
fun.
on Facebook.
No, just like the page. Don't
yeah, but
poke.
if you want to get businessy, yeah, like the page. But just poke me or Michael on Facebook. We'll know you like the podcast.
Yeah, whatever, man. And then
Poke Adam Ray too.
Yeah, poke away, man. I haven't
Poke
been
Adam
poked
Ray
on
right
Facebook.
on Adam's right. If you listen to our podcast with Adam Ray,
No.
right
I
on
think-
Adam Ray's wall,
Have people tweet at me.
have tweet at Adam Ray.
Hashtag I know a lot about a lot. Well, that's
Yeah.
a lot. Actually, that's a giant hashtag.
Fine. Hashtag. Thank you guys
All right.
and good night for visiting my life.
Jesus, for sure you need a better closer.
That's not how we
Also,
close.
unless you own that.
We don't really do
I'm
that.
Michael Lenoci, and thanks for visiting my life. Like, own it. Don't go, I fucking.
I just came up
You
with it.
said
That's
like,
the first time I've ever
You
said
said
it.
it like you just pulled up to a Toys R Us that you thought was still open past midnight, and you turn around and somebody stole your Pagazio. Anyway, thanks for listening to my life.
I know, dude. That's the first time I said it, so maybe I'll go. All right, guys. That's Late Night in Hollywood. Thanks for visiting my life.